Good day, beautiful people. Today I am making a regular size tote bag with a deep pocket for the shop. So y'all come along with me. Alrighty, so for this particular tote bag, we are going to use the very trendy bandanas. I had some that just came in for another project and I needed to do a tutorial, so I figured I would just go ahead and do this one with this particular fabric. So these are 21 by 21. I got these off of Hobby Lobby. You can get them at Hobby Lobby, Walmart, Amazon. It doesn't really matter. I have already cut my template out. So this is a 18 by 15 high. And this template I will be using for all 4 bandanas. So you need 4 bandanas for this project. What we are going to do on how to cut it is I'm going to measure. I think it's pretty, because I went with a lot of people's advice on their stuff, and some people said they like the circle on it, so I'm going to make a tote bag with the circle in it, and I'm also going to do a deeper pocket, so I'm going to show you how to do all that. So we're going to line this template up like so, and it should be 3 inches from each side and 1 3/4 on the sides. And if it's not perfect, then it's fine, because for some odd reason these bandanas are not completely even. So we're just going to cut this out around our template. And I'm going with a beautiful light purple and dark purple for this one. So we are just going to cut around our template. We're actually going to save these pieces. I have a couple of them, and we're going to save, and I'm going to add a little tie on the bag, and I'll show you how to do that also. You do not have to do that. It is optional, but I have that left over, so I am going to do that. So right now we have our fabric here, so, and our fleece. So you need 2 pieces of fleece, which I have right here, and you need 4 pieces of fabric. I have already cut this fabric out. So that is what we will be using for this project. And we are also going to have our pocket. So I'm going with a black pocket. So we need 2 pieces of fabric for our pocket and 1 piece of fleece or batting, whatever you choose, or interfacing. You do not have to fleece the pocket. I like to do it. This pocket is going to be a 12 by 9, so it is going to be a rather larger pocket. I know a lot of people said that some of y'all like the larger pockets, so that's what we're going to do today. And we are going to need our straps. You can hand make your straps, but today I'm using nylon straps. They're a little bit sturdier and they have that little bit of shiny look. I thought it paired well with the pocket. Okay, so what do you need for this project is we are using 2 25-inch straps. You can hand make these or use one that already come together. We have 1 pocket. You have 2 fabrics, an interior and an outer. This one has a fleece on it. You have 2 outer fabrics, which have 2 things of fleece, and you have 2 inner fabrics. So what we are going to do is go ahead and head to our sewing machine. Okay, so with the scraps that I said to keep for later on, these are going to be little ties we are going to set in the bag. This is optional. You do not have to do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set them together, and I am going to just like this. I want one on each side, one color on each one. So we're going to start, I don't know if you can see that. We're going to start at the end. We're going to back stitch. We're going to sew all the way around, and we're going to leave this opening at the bottom so that we can turn it inside out. And we're going to do that for both ribbon ties. Okay, so once you have sewn that together, this is what it should look like. You're going to turn it inside out, and you are going to give this a top stitch, and you can close up this hole right here if you would like. And we're going to set these aside until a little bit later. You do not have to do this part. This is optional. So once you top stitch those, you're going to set them aside, and you're going to get your pocket, and you're going to face, you have the fleece on one side, and you're going to lay it down, and you're going to face the other piece of fabric on top, and you are just going to clip or pin around, and you're going to start at the bottom, and you're going to sew the two fabrics together and leave an opening at the bottom so we can turn it inside out. Okay, so once you are done sewing the pocket, you are going to open it where the hole is, and you're going to turn it inside out. So you just gently do this. So we can get all the corners poked out. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to give this a quick iron just because it needs to be flat. And then after you iron it, you're going to fold in these sides, or this interior opening, or just an opening, I guess. And you are going to sew the opening closed, and then you are going to top stitch, and don't forget to back stitch. Okay, so we have closed our hole, and we have did a top stitch. You can use black thread. I like the contrast between the colors, so I'm using white thread for this one. I think it makes it, like, I don't know, it just pops. I just like it better this way. So now we're going to grab a piece of interior fabric, and we are going to set our pocket. So this is 18 across, so our middle should be 9. So we're going to set our pocket in the middle. So it should be about 3.5 on each side. So we need to try to get it as close as we can. And then I'll probably do 3.5 down. I don't know, this is such a bigger pocket. Let's do 3. We're going to do 3 from the top. Yeah, okay, so we can do 3 from the top, and then 9 is in the middle, so we're going to set it right in the middle. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to start on your right hand side, and you're going to sew. Don't forget to back stitch. So all the way down, all the way across, and all the way back up. Do not sew the opening at the top. So we have sewn our pocket on, and it is pretty gigantic. So let's go ahead and get our other piece of interior fabric, and we are going to set it on top. We're going to clip or pin, whatever you have, the corners and the sides together. And we are going to start at our right side, like we did for our pocket. We're going to go a little, and then we're going to back stitch. We're going to go all the way down. will go to about the middle of the bag, like a little bit in the middle, and we're going to leave us a little space right here. So we're not going to sew right here. And then we're going to back stitch, pick it up, don't sew, then come back on this side, and we're going to go ahead and sew, back stitch, and go all the way up to the left side and back stitch once again. Okay, so we have sewn our interior fabric and we have left our hole at the bottom. We are just going to set this aside for right now, and we are going to start on our outer fabric. So we have our straps and we have our two panels for our outer fabric. So what we're going to do is, this is normally what I do for most of my bags. They will be 4 inches from the sides, but we're going to measure just to make sure everything lines up good. So 4 inches for each one. And if you want them to be a little bit closer in, you can, or further out. This is just what I do. And we're going to do that for both bags. I'm sorry, for both pieces. So 4 inches from each side. And then what we're going to do is you're just going to sew each one, and don't forget to backstitch. Alrighty, so we have sewn both of our straps on our outer fabric, and now we are going to put our outer fabric on top of each other, pretty side to pretty side. And you can line up the straps. They should line up perfectly. And you can push them out the way if you need to. Go ahead and clip this other part of the fabric together. And then what you are going to do is the same thing we did for the interior fabric, but we're going to not leave a hole. So on our right side, we're going to start to sew, back stitch, go all the way down, all the way across, and all the way back up again, ending on your left side, and then back stitch again. Okay, so we have sewn our outer fabric and interior fabric together. What we're going to do is box our corners, and we are going to do, like my normal totes, a 2x2. So you're going to put the lines on your 2 and 10, that's what it should look add up to be, on your stitch line. And then you are just going to cut you out some squares. Once again, you do not have to do this for your interior fabric, but you can. I will be doing it for this bag because this bag is going on the shop. So that's one. And then do the same thing to the interior. And then what you're going to do after you do that is you're going to box your corners. On all of them. Just like this. And you are going to go, and don't forget, you're going to go a couple stitches and then back stitch and then go around. I like to probably hit the middle part probably 1 or 2 times, and then I'll go ahead and finish it out and do that for each corner. Okay, so we have boxed our corners on both our outer and inner fabric. We are going to get our interior fabric and we're going to turn it inside out to where the pretty side is showing. You can poke out the corners. And then what we're going to do is we're going to set this inside of our outer fabric. We're going to start on our seams, on the side seams first, and we're going to clip them together. I just find it easier to do it from the sides first and work your way around. And clip the fabrics to the handles. I do that also. So what you're going to do after you're done clipping them and getting everything. Oh, I broke that one. Okay, so after you're done doing that, what we're going to do is you are going to grab those 2 extra pieces. This was the optional part. You do not have to do this, but I'm just going to show you how to do it if you wanted to do it. So you have these 2 pieces and you are just going to find the middle of the bag, which I would normally measure between the handles, and the handles should come out to be about 7 inches apart. So you're going to place this inside, like inside the interior and inside the outer fabric. You are going to place this at 3.5. And we're going to clip it and then we'll measure it again just to make sure. Well, actually, yes, okay. So it'll be about 3.25. So we can put it right there at 3.25 on both sides. Because once you stretch it out, it does equal a little bit. So you're going to stick it in between the fabrics, just kind of like the handles are. And I'm going to leave it probably about an inch or 2 sticking out. Okay, so that should be good. So now what you're going to do is you are just going to give this a good top stitch, and don't forget to back stitch. Okay, we have sewn our inner and outer fabric together. We are going to pull our outer fabric through our interior hole, nice and slow. Just kind of push it on through. And just go ahead and push your corners out, the bottom of the bag. Get everything all nice and stretched out. We can clean up the little threads that are hanging out after. And what we're going to do is go ahead and close our interior hole. So you're just going to fold these 2 fabrics together, the interior, and you're just going to go ahead and sew that part right there. Okay, we have sewn the interior closed. We are going to push our interior fabric in the bag, and we're going to clip. We're going to start with the sides first. And just push it all in. And this little tie ribbon in the middle is really cute. if we're being honest, I've never done one before. So this is my first time. And I think it came out really, really cute. So after you are done clipping everything together, you are going to sew all the way around, and don't forget to backstitch. Okay, and we are done. We have a beautiful two-toned purple tote bag. This is the regular size tote bag that I make with a big deep pocket, and you have these beautiful ties that you can close up your bag whenever you travel or any type of outing. And you can make them bigger, smaller, and there you go. Until next time.